Hello everyone, Daniel Gibbs here with Starship Command Orion Spur. Today we're going to talk about balancing. Because as I've been saying from the beginning, SCOS is a game that is a capital ship simulator first and foremost. You're not flying a fighter or a corvette. It's not going to turn on a dime. And we want you to feel when you're flying the CSV Leonidas or one of the other capital ships available to command in skirmish mode that you're actually in charge of something that took humans a number of years to make. It doesn't blow up after it gets hit by a couple of missiles and a blast of neutron beam fire. It takes a while to destroy another ship. And it's not simply a matter of showing up, shooting at it a few times with your weapons. You actually have to think about logically how you're going to peel back the different layers of protection that a ship has. First its shields, then its armor, then its hull. You might want to take out its subsystems too, because if you can knock the engines out, it can't maneuver. If you knock the weapons control out, it can't shoot at you, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's get right into it here. The first gameplay clip we're going to look at is a single Ajax-class destroyer against a Marauder-class destroyer. And keep in mind that thematically, and also for the purposes of the game, the Terran Coalition and its military, the Coalition Defense Force, have superior technology to both the League of Sol and the other faction that you'll encounter very early in the campaign. Also, the ship specs and tables that we're looking at right now are ones that were primarily used for testing as the game was built. Something you'll notice right off the bat is that the reactor can power one subsystem at 100% and nothing else. Like it can power engines, shields, or weapons at 100%. But it cannot power, say, 3 of them at 50%. So it feels a little limited. That was an intended effect during testing, but in the balancing, we went to change that, and I'll show how we changed that here in a little bit. But you'll notice that as this engagement goes on, I'm not changing ammo types. I'm just kind of hitting this thing over and over and over again. And the time to kill would actually be a lot shorter than what it is on the video, except I mistimed a couple of volleys, and in reality, most playthroughs you see the destruction of a single destroyer in about 45 seconds. Okay, now this next video here is, again, the old tables using one Ajax versus 2 Marauders. It should be a bit more of a challenge, and it is. You'll notice that it's not quite evident yet, but once they start shooting at me, they're pretty good at knocking my shields down. You'll also notice, if you're paying attention here, that I have to dramatically drop off power to dissipate heat just from firing the beam for a few seconds and sending out a volley of mag cannon shells. That's not quite the intended effect we want there. Oh, and just blew up one of the ships. You'll notice that took about 40 seconds. Now coming back around, hitting the other guy. He's knocked down my force shield. I'm at 74% hull. Got to turn and keep shooting. Again, eagle-eyed viewers will notice that it's possible to game the heat system by keeping power under 80% of the reactor. We're going to make some changes to that. I don't know if those changes will make it in before the demo, but we will do a pass on that at some point, because the objective is to make it fun and interesting, and something that you do have to consider. Also, it's worth noting that right now I don't have any of the special abilities engaged. The beam's not an overcharge. We're not double stacking mag cannons, anything like that. So when you have all those going, it does generate quite a bit more heat, regardless of the tables being used. Now, it took about a minute and 40 seconds to blow up 2 destroyers. That's not quite what we're looking for. That does not feel like the adequate amount of time to fight and engage something that took humans years to build. It has a good deal of weight to it, it has power, and we want that to take a little bit longer so it feels more meaningful. Now we're switching over to the rebalance tables. This first video is one Ajax versus one Marauder, but you'll immediately notice that the power is much higher. The engines have almost 70% of their total possible power assigned to them, whereas weapons are over 90%. In practice, that means the ship's going to go faster and its weapons are going to recharge faster so it can do more damage. You'll also notice that shields drain considerably slower, both on the enemy and on the Ajax. And notice that I do not have any of the overcharge or stack fire mechanics enabled. This is just straight combat engagement. They're slugging it out with each other. But the lead ships weakened, or at least comparatively to the CDF, their weaker shields and armor are pretty telling. We're already in the hole here for the enemy ship. You might have also, by the way, noticed as we're going through this that there's more voice lines in the game. That is a function of the chatter system being mostly operational now. Dustin's continuing to perfect that. And we're still tuning, right? We're going to keep doing that through the launch of the demo, which again is coming soon. No, that's not just us being cute. It really is soon. We're trying to get this thing out here as soon as we can. And yeah, he's down to 17% hull now. Almost there. Kind of mistimed that shot a little bit. I should have maneuvered it up. But almost.
Sir, energy weapons capacitor under 35%. Sir, full deflector cohesion below 10%.
If you notice there, that took about 2 minutes for the Ajax to knock out the Marauder with the newly balanced ship tables. If you guys have any comments or thoughts on balance, by all means, let us have it in the Discord or in the comments. We're glad to hear some feedback there. Okay, now this next video here is the newly balanced tables, but we're doing one Ajax with 2 Marauders. It's going to be more of a challenge. And maybe the first thing you're going to notice here is that when I fire the mag cannons repeatedly as soon as they charge, we get quite a bit of additional heat generation, and I have to play with the power to keep that from becoming a problem. Because the last thing I want to do is overheat the ship right in the middle of the match and the reactor shuts down, and that's not good when you're getting hit by 2 enemies.
Energy weapons capacitor critically low.
There that we're stressing the ship out. There we go. You'll also perhaps notice that I again do not have these special abilities turned on. Stack fire's not on. Overcharge is not on. And thematically, one of the capabilities of a CDF ship is to double load the magnetic cannon turrets. I just turned that on, and instead of sending out one projectile per barrel, it sends out 2, and boom, instant kill on the enemy. Overheated the ship, had to cool that down. Now we're going to go kill the other one. It helps greatly to take down the enemy in a timely manner, and it's one of the special abilities that the CDF has to level the playing field. You might also notice that I'm changing ammo types. We were using high explosive once I knocked the shield down. Now we're back on EM. And in this rebalance pass, I leaned into the different ammo types even more than they already were. EM now causes almost no damage to armor or hull, but even more than it used to shields. High explosive is almost worthless against shields or heavy armor, but it's deadly against a smaller ship like a destroyer once you've knocked the armor down. It would be deadly against a cruiser or anything else too, but once the armor is depleted. Armor-piercing ammunition cuts through armor very easily. Doesn't cause as much damage, which makes logical sense because it's a depleted uranium or tungsten penetrator. It goes through, it does cause damage, but it's not exploding inside. You're going to have to use all 3 of these ammo types in order to win, especially in a multi-combatant situation like this. One thing I will also mention is that we're taking a look at missile damage. It's not quite what it should be. The missiles don't quite seem to. They don't have a lot of oomph behind them. Yeah, they look great, but they're not causing as much damage as I'd like. But I also don't want them to be an instant win button. So, gonna play with that here over the next couple of days as I continue this rebalance pass. It took almost 4 minutes to knock both ships out, which again is about what we're looking for, because these things are large vessels. Don't want them to blow up in 30 seconds like a fighter. Also note that even though we won, we got some hits on us. There was some armor damage. A couple of shields got depleted. At the very least, we're going to have to recharge the shields before we can go fight something else. Alright, this last video is two Ajax versus 3 Marauder. And for whatever reason, my ally Ajax just isn't interested in shooting the enemy. I don't know what's up with that, but I've got it on my list here to test that further, see if I can figure out why. Then I'll put a bug report in. Although this is one build ago, so it's possible it's already fixed. Dustin is putting out new builds at a prodigious rate every couple of days and knocking down the issues board as much as he can. This map, you'll notice immediately, is different. It is not open space. It is asteroids everywhere, and there's obstacles, and you've got to fly around them, and that is yet another challenge. We also joined kind of mid-match and excuse the cutoff UI at the bottom. This match was just too interesting to leave out because of how neat it is flying between those asteroids, taking stuff out. And hey, there we got another one. So we got 2 of the Marauders are down. There's 1 left. I have 17% hull, and man, my ship has taken a beating. I will say, while we're watching this play out, that it's not going to make it in for the demo, but we have a number of other fun maps planned. Going to do a nebula, looking at the atmosphere of a gas giant, maybe, a black hole system, an ion storm. I've even got an idea for a map with a pulsar on it that sends out an EMP every so often. There's tons of things that we can implement there that'll be challenging and interesting and fun to play in. So you can probably see here that I'm pushing the ship, got heat maxing out, trying to recharge the shields. Oh, just lost my reactor. That was like the most inopportune time for such a thing to happen, as I only have 7% hull left. But I got him lined up, and oh man, so close. Photo finish. There you go. So that is a look at the state of the game right now. And I know somebody's wondering where the bridge view is. Long story short, we're polishing that up again before showing it off with the updated UI. It's coming along great, as is the demo campaign mission. I recorded all of this on Saturday, January 17th, and tomorrow I'm going to be working, and for the next few days after that, on balancing out the rest of the ships in the same way that you saw here. We want them to be meaningful, it to take some time. You have to use strategy and tactics with your different ammo types. There's also subsystem targeting in there. If you're an Ajax, or a Marauder for that matter, and you're going up against a heavy cruiser, you're not going to win unless you're targeting your enemy subsystems. We'll get to that in a later video. Again, can't wait to get this into your hands. Ask everybody to wishlist this on Steam, watch the Kickstarter, join our Discord, like, subscribe, all the YouTube-y things. Thanks, and see you guys next time. Gibbs out.